Welcome into a very special edition of Gimme the Hot Sauce. The reason why it's so special, by the magic of television or camera. Stacey is here in the Sriracha studios when he's actually in Paris doing the Bulls-Pistons broadcast. Of course, they left after Sunday's game against Golden State. He's in Paris for a week, just impressing the locals with your knowledge of the language. But we're going to play you some of the best clips we've had over the last couple of years. Stacey, we've had so many great guests. It's tough to pick out just a few, but what are some of the moments that really stand out?
Well, I mean, anytime you have any ex-teammates on there, B.J. Armstrong came on, who's like, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He was real fun to talk to. You also had, we've gone from MMA fighters like T.J. Dillashaw, who was battling for his championship, who just retired. We got an interview with him. Carlos Correa, who wanted to come to the Cubs, but ended up going around to like 3 different teams. Now he's back in Minnesota. Dan Patrick came on. Yeah. We had Doris Burke. The one thing, Mark, is we try to bring exciting guests each and every week, a little bit different all the time. It's just not about basketball. It's about everything, whether it's MMA, whether it's skateboarding, whether it's boxing. We try to bring different guests on there to a different audience.
Stacey travels around the country doing Bulls broadcasts, and he's got so many great friends around the league that he's really been able to get some unbelievable names. Hall of Famers like Dominique Wilkins, who came on to join the show. Of course, some current NBA stars like Trey Young, Darius Garland, just really A-list guys. It's got to be tough for you sometimes, going to these arenas going, oh, no, I got to ask another guy to come on, jump on the show.
Well, you know what, Mark? It's funny because I didn't know how hard it was to be the event coordinator.
Yeah.
I just want to do the show. But in order for this show to be where it's at and where it's going to go, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. And it's really hard to ask people, but everyone's been really great. Every time I've called on someone to come on the show, they're more than happy to come on the show. They really come on the show for my hot sauce. I don't know if they want to come on and talk to us, but they want these bottles of hot sauce right here. Yeah. The guests really, really love my hot sauce, so that entices them to come on.
But you made a great impression on so many athletes and broadcasters around the country. We had Doris Burke on recently, and she said that, hey, I don't do many of these, but I really love Stacey. I love Adam Amin and the work that you guys do on the broadcast, so that's why I want to come on. The broadcast community, much like professional sports, there's a good fraternity there. People really get along with each other and respect the work of other broadcasters.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm a fan of Doris Burke. I'm a fan of Dan Patrick. The guys I listen to, and they listen to me, which is an honor, So, like you said, it's a fraternity. Everybody's really close. And, when someone needs something, you can make a phone call and say, hey, I've done Dan Patrick's show many times, and I didn't think we were ever going to get him. So I just took a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
I called this guy Todd Fritzy, who's also a friend of mine, and I said, hey, can he come on? And he's like, yeah, what time? Same thing with Doris Burke. I see her at games, when we do simulcast with ESPN.
Yeah.
She said, oh, yeah, definitely, most definitely. Let me know.
We've had some great guests along the way. We had Michael Wilbon from ESPN. He bleeds Chicago sports, of course, a Chicago native. He had some great stories. We had the punky QB on, Jim McMahon, who told us an unbelievable story about the first time he met George Halas. So we're going to play some of those clips. Hopefully that you'll enjoy some great stories from athletes, entertainers, sports executives, and the whole lot. And when Stacey gets back from France, even though you're seeing him right now, he's really not here. We're going to bring you a brand new show. So a lot more great guests coming up on Gimme the Hot Sauce.
And you know what, Mark? You know what's really cool, too, for the people who are just tuning into this podcast for the very first time? You're going to get an opportunity to see a really quality show with quality guests and quality production. To me, I'm being a little biased. I think I got one of the hottest podcasts on the market right now. We continue to grow. And shout out to Odyssey. We partner with Odyssey. They're doing a good job to also help us grow in the score in here in Chicago. That's also showing us love. So we're growing every week, and it's awesome. And we're getting more and more fans. So shout out to all you fans who are subscribers, and you hit like on YouTube, and continue following us and continue to help us grow.
And for all the members of the Timmy Whispers fan club, he'll be on the show as well. So
he's on punishment.
Enjoy.
Hey, Dan, on that same vein, though, can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Adam Sandler?
Oh, I've been very fortunate. I met him in a Knicks game, and at the time he was shooting. He just finished Happy Gilmore, and he was supposed to have Keith Olbermann play the role that Vern Lundquist did as the golf announcer. And he came up. He was in. It was like the halftime. And I was walking by and I saw him, he was by himself. and he goes, Danny P. And I hadn't met him, but he goes, Danny P. And I go, hey, Sandman, how are you? And he goes, good. Your boy, he screwed me. Who's my boy? He goes, Oberman. He was supposed to be in Happy Gilmore. He didn't want to fly to Vancouver. And I said, if you ever need a sportscaster, you let me know and I'll be there. He goes, Danny, you're in my next movie. Your name, Danny McBleepin Patrick, and you're going to have a mustache and you're going to be a police officer. And he put me in the longest yard where in the beginning, I pull him over and arrest him. And I've got a mustache on. And it's been 20 movies altogether that I've been able to be in with him. But he's become a very good friend who just happens to be a very powerful movie star.
Hey, Dan, though, is it true, though, speaking of ESPN, that you and Keith left the legacy of This Is SportsCenter based on pissing off the management?
Yes, because we used to say things and then management said, stop doing this, stop calling it the big show. And the only reason why we called it the big show is we were mocking ourselves. We didn't know who was watching.
Yeah.
We didn't have any ratings. Nobody told us anything. We called ourselves the big show. And management called us in and they're banging on the desk and, we're not going to have this anymore. And you're not going to call, the show the big show. We want you, when you go to commercial break and you're teasing what's coming up, we want you to say, this is SportsCenter. And I'm going, and I look at Keith and I already know the wheels are turning. It's like, okay, if that's what you want. And that night, did we overemphasize, this is SportsCenter. And then they created an ad campaign called This Is SportsCenter based off of that. And all we were trying to do is mock our bosses. But so many great memories there, fun memories, and great people. It was a great place to work when we were the underdogs. When you're the favorites, it's a little bit different. But when we were sort of that fraternity and you were finding us at night, it was pretty special. A lot of fun.
Hey, Trey, not only are you a great player, but you're also one of the most popular guys in the NBA. And I know that you take your responsibilities seriously in terms of trying to put on a good show for the fans. Last year in the playoffs, you kind of got into it with the Knicks fans. Did you enjoy embracing the role of a villain when you walked into Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, to be honest, walking into game one, didn't expect it to be like that. I mean, I just walked in, ready to play my first regular playoff game, and I knew it was going to be a crazy environment just because of it being in New York and it being their first time in a while. So, and I was excited for it. I got to wear my first shoes. I was looking forward to that. And then a couple minutes into the game, it's just some FU chances to start raining down. So I didn't feel like I had started anything, but it is what it is.
Stacey, you know about the Garden, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Their fans deserve it though, man. It's fun. It's fun to play in that environment, but some people take it a little bit too far.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys always got the last laugh too.
Yeah, because we always won. Yeah, we always knocked them out the playoffs, so that's what made it sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad. To be honest, I'm kind of glad we won it in New York. I think it was the right way.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of like Reggie Miller. Like, you was taking bows. You was, people was. I think somebody tried to spit on you.
Yeah, it happened in game two.
That's why I didn't. The fan take it too far.
Yeah. And that's too much. But
Hey, Trey, did you say it's quiet in here, right to Spike?
Oh no. To be honest, Spike is he's very he's the perfect type of fan you want. State, you know what I'm talking about. As far as a fan, you're talking about fans going too far. Spike is the total opposite. He's gonna just cheer. He's gonna talk trash, but he's gonna talk trash the right way. He's not gonna go too far and say nothing crazy to the players and nothing like that. But he's the perfect type of fan you want cheering your team on. And I give a lot of respect to Spike because he shows love whenever the game's over with, and just like the other teams usually do, and just respect all around. So he's definitely the perfect type of fan you want.
And Coach K is always, at least in my experience with him over the last probably 40 years, he doesn't like offer you advice as much as he helps you ask yourself the right question or questions. And that's always been really effective. Like when I've asked him about things, he's always gotten me to ask myself the right questions. And then I can make the best and most informed decision. And it's a nice little way to help, I think, help guide someone where you're not just saying, all right, here's what you do. Hey, when in my day we did this. He doesn't do that. He's much better than that.
Jalen, you used to having the ball in your hands. Of course, you were a high-scoring star at Stevenson High School. We mentioned the 2 national championships at Villanova. You come to the Mavericks, and as I mentioned, you have to earn your minutes. And then Luka comes in as the high pick in the draft that everybody's talking about. What's it like playing alongside a guy like that? I mean, he dominates the ball. At times, he'll take some questionable shots, and he loves to argue with the refs. There are times that you kind of look at it like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, he's a definition of someone hitting the lottery. So you can say Mark and the organization hit the lottery on that one. Luka is one of the best players this league has ever seen.
Right.
First and foremost. He's able to do things where if he does take a questionable shot, he's earned that right and he's earned that respect to do so. And a lot of people may say, well, like, he doesn't have the respect of his teammates, or he does this, but no, he has no help or whatever. Luka is that good. Like he's earned that right. He deserves it. And so playing with a person like that with a lot of, I won't say pressure, it's not really pressure at all, but a lot of attention, a lot of notoriety that's on him. It can be tough, but he deserves it. And it's a person who I truly became to like love as a guy. He was a great teammate. Now people may say he wasn't, or he's selfish or things like that. Like that kid wants to win night in and night out. And watching him kind of lead and do things, it's pretty special. You see the games, he's doing stuff, and like we as a team, like we clap, like, all right, cool. But everyone's like thinking, like, this kid's going crazy. He does crazy things. Like we see it every night. We're seeing this every night. But yeah, he deserves all of it, man. He's going to be a champion and MVP. He's going to do everything in this league that a lot of greats have done. And he may surpass a lot of them, and he deserves it. And that's the type of guy I think he is and player he is, and he will get to that point.
Tell us about the whole All-Star Weekend experience in Cleveland, the top 75 players of all time that, of course, you are among the all-time greatest to ever play the game.
Yeah. It was, if I can describe this, it was a surreal, breathtaking moment. It really was. When you play this game, and, Stacey will tell you, that, you've earned the right to belong and be here. But when you're anointed as one of the greatest to ever play, man, I can't even tell you how that makes you feel. I mean, it's unreal. It's a very emotional moment. Charles Barkley asked me on another podcast. He said, the first time I ever been emotional, he said, did you get emotional that day we were taking the pictures? He said, I told him, I said, look, man, I'm still emotional. It's just hard for me to put in words how it really feels. So it was amazing.
That Atlanta team, I remember the night we played y'all in the ring ceremony, and we were getting our rings that night, and y'all put a beating on us that night in Chicago when we were getting our ring ceremony. And man, we ain't never got beat like that. That was, that was inspiration. That was that, we like, okay, they getting their ring, like, let's spoil their party. We were talking, we'd never gotten beat like that. That was like, they put a beating on it. I mean, one time I think we were down almost like 40 to them. And we was like,
we had
wow.
a game that night.
You did. I
remember that game.
Yeah. Oh, we all remembered. We always want to look at, we look at it as like it was a hangover because, we got our rings and the celebration. Yeah. Nah, y'all flat out put that can of whoop ass on us.
Because I know Mike took it personal. The next time we fought, the next time we met, it was a dog fight.
Oh, I don't know if you remember when we played you in Atlanta and MJ sprained his ankle. and he went into the locker room. Remember that game?
In the playoffs.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
yeah.
And I'm saying, he goes in the locker room. And I said, he done. I said, we're going to kick their ass tonight. Mike out. And lo and behold, at halftime, he comes walking out of the locker room.
Yep.
And I'm like, what?
Yes.
Damn.
We all thought he was done. And the crazy thing about that was when he came back out, they got, what is y'all, the Harry the Hawk? The Harry Hawk was going to come out to the Superman theme. And he was going to come out the tunnel with the smoke and everything. And then so everybody's expecting the Harry the Hawk come out with the Superman theme. And so all of a sudden, here comes MJ with the sprained ankle. We all thought he was done. And he comes out, and it wasn't Harry the Hawk, it was MJ. And then he went on a tear, and we ended up winning. It was crazy.
34, 35, something like that, man. I'm like, and that series, I averaged 30 points a game in that series. But it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Yeah.
Did Whispers take some down to Fort Myers? Is he packing some down there? Or?
I don't think he's packing hot sauce.
He might be packing something else.
He's packing something else. I don't know what he's packing down there. Like, you ain't hear from me. Hey, America, again, what I say, listen, Whispers is taking the day off. He deserves it.
He's entitled.
He works
vacation,
really hard. Again, he's not here. You see, normally sits right here next to me. I didn't have to blink today. I keep telling y'all, I didn't have to blink, rub my ear, give you some kind of signal that I was in trouble, hold up a sign, please help. So I feel safe today, but he'll be back. He'll be back soon.
So I know you're all looking forward to his Christopher Walken impersonation. You'll have to wait until next week for Timmy Whispers. A shot of Christopher Walken, who's made more money than God, is sitting in an airport. Obviously, in some kind of coach section alongside two paying customers, and he looks totally lost. Have you suffered brain damage, Christopher?
No, if you look at the look on my face, it's a new script from Netflix. I couldn't believe what they're asking me to do. The sex scenes. I mean,
oh my God!
Do they know how old I am?
Oh my God, 79.
Thank you. I didn't need to be reminded.
Why would you allow people to sit that close to you?
I told you, they were my decoys. God damn, don't you listen? Get the wax out of your ears. There's free Q-tips at the club.
This man is insane.
Is Christopher Walken going with you? Is this going to be a threesome?
Oh, a threesome?
Not at dinner.
My God, Mark, we got a freak in the house. Marcus put a threesome. Christopher Walken, and Timmy Whispers.
So I always plan on threesomes whenever I go out with a couple. You never know what's going to happen.
But you know what he does? He does a great Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
do
give us a little Christopher Walken.
Hi, Doris. It's great to meet you, and I appreciate your handles as well.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yes, this is why he's on the show. This is the only thing he brings to the show is this Christopher Walken. Man. Once the Christopher Walken dies, he's off the show.
So does that mean that Whispers isn't going to be in his closet until midnight packing sauce?
No, he's going to hire some little minions, and they're all going to be packing hot sauce like little Oompa Loompas. They're all going to look like Tim. They're going to be like little miniature Tims. They're going to wear these little tight shirts on like he's got on right here.
But they'll be bright red.
And they'll be red like lobsters, and they'll be out there packing. Hey, we got to pack the hot sauce. We got to pack the hot sauce. Yeah.
Oompa Loompa, oompity-doo. I got another riddle for you.
So since we've basically done the commercial, why don't we get a quick Christopher Walken on where they can find it now for the holidays? Because the holidays are coming up, and they want to get their hot sauce. It's a perfect gift, a perfect stocking stuffer.
Yes, a stocking stuffer.
There you go.
I'm sorry I was standing outside. I didn't know I was on yet, but thanks for calling me in, Mark. All right, so you're right. The hot sauce is the best gift for the holidays.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can get a discount. We'll ship it out quick. The back orders are getting cleaned up. And my man Stacey here, he expects it to be out the next day, but
absolutely,
but we're selling out. So get your orders in now. We'll get it there by Christmas. I promise you.
So you go to GimmeTheHotSauce.com.
Yeah, and use code KING21. Get 21% off your first order.
Yes.
America. Are you in charge of billing too? You take care of that?
He does it all.
You do discounts?
No, that's that idiot Whispers that takes care of that stuff. I'm just the voice of the sauce.
We need more cowbell.
Yeah, I just do dancing for guys like Fat Boy Slim and add some voiceovers for the hot sauce. I don't pack shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
All right, we got that cover. Again, if you're just listening. No. They could have picked a better photo, though.
America, the 10 sexiest men alive in Montana. Look at that.
Oh, my.
Mark, don't hate, Mark. Don't hate. Mark, look. Wait a minute. Is that Brad Pitt is that Brad Pitt and Denzel Washington?
They were runners up. Yeah.
So I'm in there with them. Oh, I told you I was a black Brad Pitt. Y'all didn't believe me. But now look at me, baby. I haven't been to Montana, America. I haven't been to Montana, but I'm one of the 10 sexiest men alive.
There's an advanced, proactive, aggressive approach, and then there's not. And I will tell you this, as much as maligned as he has been and sometimes was and deserved to be sometimes, one thing I loved about Jerry Krause was that Jerry got on a plane.
Yes.
Okay. Like so I know an advanced scouting team wouldn't pay for him to go. And so one year they were in position for him to draft whoever Jerry Krause was scouting. So if Jerry passed on a guy at a certain point, because Jerry had more than one international by the time we got to the 90s, you know that, of course. Like they weren't, this guy's team wasn't going to pay for him to do that, to travel the globe. So he was like, dude, I got to get lined up like behind Jerry Krause. Because he knew Jerry Krause was putting the time in.
Yes, and I think we talk about this a lot with Jerry, is that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves of, not only, I mean, if his name was Jerry West, you'd be talking about one of the greatest GMs of all time. And because Michael's relationship with Jerry was very rough, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, because most people just take sides. If MJ says, I don't like the guy, everybody, I don't like him either, But Jerry was a great freaking GM. Like Mike, think about this. 2 different three-peat teams. The only constant was Michael and Scotty and Phil. That's it.
Yeah. That's right. And you know what? I mean, it was Jerry, Jerry was hard to like. But if you put that aside and just looked at, Jerry was the one who knew he was going to trade or draft Scotty, right?
Yep.
Jerry was the one who knew he was, I remember when Jerry was, you see him at X number of games in college. That was covering college basketball more than. And you see Jerry, he'd be sitting or standing like in a spy position.
Yeah.
He's
hiding in the corner.
Oh, yeah. He was in love with both Grants, Horace and Harvey.
Yeah.
And you knew going in, like, sometimes who Jerry was favoring. And it's scouting. Jerry was less an executive than he was a scout who was moved into an executive role, because obviously Jerry Reinsdorf knew him because he was scouting for him. This dude was so talented he could scout 2 professional sports. He did baseball.
Which is unheard of.
It's unheard of.
Those some classic battles, man.
But Doris
am I allowed to be profane? Because if you truly knew me, I am absolutely profane.
Oh, we like it.
Oh, here we go.
We like it. This is our kind of show.
You know what? Fuck it. Let it go. Let's do this, Doris. You've been accused of a lot of things, which is great. Like from being a white woman, from being Kate Winslet. You've heard all these things, right? What is it?
No.
Wearing your high heels out. And then Devin Booker said, "Have you seen her hands?" So what do you have to say about all these accusations out there?
All I know is I was married for 18 years and then divorced. And I remember I was married at the time, and my husband said, social media was starting to become a thing. And he started to read me things that the social media people were saying. And I just looked at him, I go, don't do that. I don't want to know what people are saying. He goes, you got to listen to this one. He said, somebody said you have your hair pulled back so tight you could bounce a quarter off your head. Now, looking back, is it any wonder I divorced him? No.
That's funny.
Tim,
I don't want to know what's out there, my friend.
You got anything? You got anything else, Tim?
So nothing about the high heels or the hands or Kate Winslet. Nothing.
Not a thing.
It's all good. Actually, I thought they were all compliments at the end of the day. So being accused of good things was okay.
Yeah. Well, shoot. I'll take it.
Stacey gets accused. Stacey gets accused of being the black Brad Pitt all the time, so we get it.
Oh man, okay. See, this is what I have to deal with. You know, I was voted 10 most sexiest men in Montana by the Women's Rotary Club, and they've been hating ever since, Doris. They've been hating ever since because they weren't in the magazine. They would not allow me to bring them with me, and this is why Michael Jackson left the Jackson 5. Okay, because he could only take the Jackson 5 so far, and he had to go solo. I'm sorry, Tito and Randy. It's not my fault. Okay? When you go back to when you were riding in the vans and you guys were doing it, and I'm sure those were fun times, you know, climbing up the ladder. When did you when you guys finally feel like you actually made it? Like we're here, we made it. One of our records is playing on the radio station. Like how was that feeling, and how did it feel to see that happen and that hard work come to fruition?
So I would say it was our third record that we started to notice something was really happening here. Like our record was in the charts and more people were coming to the shows, and it started to become, wow, like this is really happening for us. And the thing that helped us too is there were 4 bands that came up together. It was like us, Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth. And they coined the phrase the Big Four. So this was back in like 1986, and there was a movement. So it was the 4 bands doing this, and it really changed the face of hard rock or heavy metal.
When you talk about athletes, we talk about competition, and we talk about pushing each other and teams, and you have these the Detroit and the Bulls rivalries, the New York Knicks and the Bulls rivalry. Like we're trying to really destroy each other. How was it coming up in that Big Four? Because when you talk about the Big Four, was it competition between Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer? And were you guys pulling for one another, or was there competition, friendly competition?
Well, it's funny you should say that because Metallica came to New York. They're from San Francisco, and we had a mutual manager at the time, and he brought them to New York, and they stayed at our place, and we let them use. We had like a big rehearsal place, and they used that rehearsal place. We gave them certain things, amenities for their room, and just really kind of bonded with them and helped them a lot. And that friendship, has stayed till today with them guys. So there's always been a really good camaraderie with them. And the same with the other bands too, especially Slayer. Slayer are not with us anymore. They decided to call it a day, but the last big tour that they did, we were on that too. And we spent like months together, and it was bittersweet because we've known them since they were first starting out too. But they decided that's it. We've had enough.
You owned up to it. Some guys don't ever want to own up to their mistakes. And they keep getting passes after passes after passes in the UFC, and I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying any names; you might come after me. I don't want that smoke unless I got a 38. No, I ain't messing with him, boy. Hey, but TJ know what I'm talking about. So at that same time, you owned up to it, man. I think that gave a lot of people a lot of different look at you, respect you a lot more. Because you easily could have just made all kind of excuses and I did this because of this, and you didn't. You owned up to it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was the best way to go about it. I got a 3-year-old son, and I'm already embarrassed of what I did, and to go and hide behind it and make excuses, this and that, it's kind of teaching the wrong thing, So to be honest, man, the 2 years was actually quite a blessing.
And the Masvidal fight, I just like you, I thought it was going to be Usman going to win because he was just going to grapple him and then, like you said, neutralize him. I didn't expect him to stand up. When I saw that training segment with Trevor Whitman and Gaethje and all those guys, you could tell he's been working on his striking game. Because now you got to look at it, Carlos, like how you beat him now. You can't beat him on the ground because he got Khabib type wrestling, and now how do you beat this guy now?
So Usman fought Masvidal, but he used his grappling. Then when he fought Gilbert Burns, he didn't use his grappling at all. He knocked him out on the feet. And that's when we started seeing, wow, like Trevor Whitman has made this guy so much better. That jab is popping. That right hand is following. He's setting traps now. He's not predictable with his striking. It's great. And you saw with Masvidal on that last fight, he was popping the jab to the body, the jab to the face. He was throwing some hooks. When he saw that Masvidal was checking all the time with that hook, he was trying to come around every time Usman was jabbing. He went around, and when Masvidal was going to counter him with the hook, he went straight with the right hand right before Masvidal landed that left hook. You know, the way my dad raised me was that, you know, you got to care about your families, your inner circle, your friends' opinion. Because if we care about what people say on Twitter, on Instagram, at the ballpark, we'll never be happy with the lives that we live. You know, you can never please everybody, and you're gonna make errors. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna strike out, and if you focus too much on what people say on social media or people say when you're on the field, then you will never be able to be happy with yourself.
He broke into the NBA with Stacey King back in 1989, the pride of the Iowa Hawkeyes. BJ Armstrong joining the show. BJ, thanks for being with us tonight.
Oh, Mark, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure with my man, Stacey King. I mean, I'm just so excited to be on the show today. You guys have one of the greatest podcasts I've heard. Oh, it's fabulous. And you know what? It's a treat because playing with Stacey, it was the greatest. He made the road trips the greatest. That's the only thing that I miss in the NBA are the road trips, because Stacey King was the best. He was the best of the best. He made every road trip entertaining. You never knew what he was going to say. Stacey is the reason that I am so conscientious of what I wear, because I knew he was going to talk about my shoes, my socks, my clothes. Everything was fair game with him. And I just wanted to be with him on the bus. So I feel like this is me reliving those times, and I get a chance to spend an hour, because the only thing I miss in the NBA is the arena to the airport, because that was Stacey King's time, and he was going to go after everybody, and nobody
Load
was
the
off
clip.
limits.
Load the
clip. And what you guys see on television, because he does an incredible job, that's just so toned down to what his stand-up act that he was doing back in the 80s and the 90s was meant.
You know, to me, it's just always people on sports radio. It's people I work with, and it's like, you know, what, like Mark Silverman is easy to do, because, you know, Sylvie's just, it's always so what's going on, Guado? How are you? So do you really think that possibly Schwarber will ever hit for power, right, Guado? Right? Right. And so it's always that it's you just get it from a certain place, and you just kind of just bring it up from there, you know. So
the bulging neck muscles. Yeah.
All right.
Like scanners. Like his head's gonna explode.
Exactly.
But Mike's got. See, they think Mike's a boy band guy. So when they see Mike, you know, he got his hair all spiked up. You know, he got a nice little suit on, and they just wait for him to say, "I want it that way."
So we've got Bingo, we've got the younger crowd, and we've got Montana. So
yes. Look at Mike.
Montana's locked down.
See, Mike read the magazine. 10 most sexiest man in Montana. The sexiest man in Montana. Okay, he read the magazine.
Yeah, I'm done. It's Joe Pesci now.
That's better than Tyson.
Absolutely freaking not. It's horrible.
You think that's funny?
It's horrible.
You think that's funny, like getting hot sauce in your eye?
Okay, you know you sound like somebody named like Eddie Squidley or something.
I don't think so.
Who you? Eddie Squidley. That's your new nickname, not Joe Pesci.
And his shorts are too tight.
Yeah. He's got.
It might be young Joe Pesci, but it's all right.
Oh, this is terrible. We've given him too much rope. He's already hung himself twice tonight. So. America, let me tell you something. If I was a child and I walked up to your house and said, trick or treat, and you gave me licorice or good and plenties, I'm throat punching your ass as a 6-year-old.
Give me an apple.
I'm going to say, excuse me, I'm going to move a chair up. I'm going to grab one of your little furniture outside, and I'm going to jump my little ass right up there, and I'm going to go, ooh, right in your throat for giving me a good plenty. Stop giving out this nasty, gross candy.
You don't go there.
Remember, we got partners to take care of.
Okay,
right?
I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry. Welcome, Odyssey.
I thought you were watching the Tulsa King.
Oh, hey, I watched that show.
What'd you think of it?
I
love it.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I saw the first episode, but I like Sly, but his accent, it just kills me sometimes.
It's always the same.
It's always the same in every movie. Like, okay, God, I
Can I get any good for you? I'm a capo too.
Yeah, look at it. So that's pretty good. That's whispers right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember my teacher coming up to me and she said, "Hey, why are you taking this class?" And I said, and I was, I'm like, well, one day I might go to France. She says, "You're not going to France. You're never going to Paris."
Don't crush somebody's dreams.
No, she didn't crush my dreams, but she tried. She tried because you can't crush my dreams. Okay, so she says you're never gonna go to France. You'll never see France. And that's from a kid, kid from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. So she says you'll never see France. You'll never see Paris. Whatever. She says, you're not even taking this class seriously. Da da da. Now she was right about that. I wasn't taking it seriously, America. I was a little horn dog. I was out there for all the women. That's all I was there. I was learning. Listen, all I wanted to get a C. That's all I needed was a C. I didn't need an A. I needed a C, which I got. So she said I would never see France, whatever. So in 1993, it was probably after the second championship, I was out in France just touring Europe, doing some things that, I wanted to do. So I had a postcard made up. This is how vindictive I am, America. I'm always on the payback. So I remember what that French teacher told me. And so I go out and I take a picture at the Eiffel Tower. And so, it was a custom-made card. It wasn't like just pick one up. So I had a custom-made card. So I'm in front of the Eiffel Tower, and I hit her with, like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Mark, I'm vindictive. I'm vindictive like that. So I flipped her. I gave it a double bird shot. And I said, thanks for the motivation. Saying I would never see France. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, Mark. Yeah. And I sent it to her. And I didn't feel bad about it, Mark. He came, he was the new heavyweight champion at the time. He was like 20, 21 years old. So he was our age. And so after the game, Don King was trying to get me to sign with him because he was getting into the basketball realm.
That's right, Stacey.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. This dude just ruined the story.
Like whispers.
He just ruined the damn story. Please stop doing Mike Tyson's voice. It's horrible. Oh, my God. So anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by Cartman, let's back in,
It wasn't
Mark.
just that it was bad. People were offended.
Yeah,
they were insulted.
No, Mike Tyson on line 3. He's on line 3 ready to kick his ass for even attempting to do his voice, okay? Yeah.
Actually, Mike's the kind of guy who enjoys that.
Yeah, you know him really well.
Yeah, okay.
Not as well as Stacey.
Oh, yeah. I do know Mike. I do know Mike. It's true. I do know Mike.
So you have to have mine. I may have ruined that.
Hey, listen.
So much for a chance of getting him on the show,
listen,
right?
I can get him on the show. Don't sleep. Red face.
The Lobster Man is getting fresh treatment down in Fort Myers, Florida. He was supposed to dial in, but he's probably too many drinks in already.
Well, listen, America, I just want to throw this out here. I said this last week when he was not here for this part of the segment.
Yeah.
I don't need to blink today. I feel safe. I feel like I can be myself. I don't have to worry about 30 years of abuse from Tim Kelley. I'm just honored to be here now. This is about the most relaxed I've been since we've been doing the show because he's always right next to me and he makes me nervous. So he's that guy that, he's that guy, man. He looks like he's innocent, but really he's not. He's abusive.
Oh, boy. Hey, Stacey, before we go, do you remember the heckler that was at the Washington at the time?
Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we did. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did. A couple episodes ago.
Yeah, with the book.
Hey, Bees. We brought this up a couple episodes ago. I was saying that today's kids would not be able to deal with that guy. That guy was ruthless. Me and BJ, we were young kids. We'd be sitting there, be a timeout, and Phil would be on, Phil would be sitting there going over the play, and then the guy would yell, "Hey, Tex Winter!" He says, "Hey, you can work on a strip ball." So me and BJ would just start cracking up laughing, and then he'd say, "Hey, rookies, what are y'all laughing at?" And then Phil would turn around, "Hey, pay attention to me. Listen here." I'm like, wow. I'm like, Phil, he's funny.
Hey, that's the only guy that I think he rivals Stacey.
He was funny.
Stacey.
He was funny.
No,
that dude was funny.
Well, like I said, I sat there outside of his office for about an hour.
and just looked at the secretary. Finally, I said, hey, what am I doing here? Because I had friends on the team. Kenny Marjoram I had known from an All-America team, and Keith Van Horn, and they wanted to take me out, celebrate. And so finally I just, hey, what am I waiting for? And the lady said, well, Mr. Hallis is taking a nap. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, wake his old ass up. I said, I got things to do. And so she goes in, 5 minutes later, I get to go in there, and he's sitting there in his chair, and he's already got a contract. I just got drafted 5 hours ago, and he's got this contract, and he says, first thing he says, well, you're too short. You got a bad eye. Your arm is suspect, and we don't know about one of your knees either. He goes, maybe you should go to Canada. This is the first words out of his mouth. And I look at him and I said, well, why'd you draft me, old man? I said, who's in your scouting department? And he has his contract. And at the time, if you remember, the USFL was just coming in.
Yep.
They were going to have their first season that spring. And so I knew I had a meeting with George Allen, who was coaching the Chicago Blitz, the old Redskin coach. And I had a meeting with him in the next 3 or 4 days. And so Hallis slides his contract over, and I see the first number, and I just wadded it up, and I said, I ain't signing that. And I throw it at him, and I walked out. That was my first meeting with Papa Bear. I think it was a 3 and out. I got back in his face. I said, hey, we're going to lose this game, unless you put me in. And to this day, I know the only reason he put me in is because I bugged the hell out of him. He got so tired of me being in his face. He just, all right, goddamn it, we're going to go do this. And so he gives me first play I ran was a screen pass. And if you remember the film, I come away from the center and I almost fell on my face. My legs are a little wobbly from all the painkillers and stuff. And I saw as soon as I got the snap, I knew it was blitz. And blitz, whoever's got the guy that's getting the screen, he's going to run right to the screen guy. And so as I stumble back and I get my balance, I just happen to look downfield, and Willie is doing his job. He's just running his guy as deep as he can go, but he's 10 yards behind him. And I knew, from the time I got the snap to the time I planted and threw the ball, the lineman couldn't be downfield for the screen already. So I throw the ball, and we score. And everybody's excited. And when I got to the sideline, Dick had grabbed me and about threw my neck out again. He's like, what damn play did you call?
A touchdown play, yeah.
Well, I called the screen. He goes, why'd you throw it to him? I said, because he was open. We scored. What he picked?
Now, see, I was teammates with his father, Winston in Minnesota. And to watch both of these guys play, Winston was a great point guard, high basketball IQ, wasn't as athletic as his son. It's a totally different athlete. But Winston used to give people the business too. Don't sleep. So now to see Darius play and watch him play and watch the success he's having so early, I know it's got to be exciting for your dad.
Yeah, it's super exciting for him. We talk after every game. He tells me what he sees. I tell him what I see. So we still have that father-son basketball relationship. That's super cool.
It must have been a wonderful weekend for you, the All-Star weekend in Cleveland, and you were front and center. Tell us your reflections on what stood out the most to you.
Well, thank you guys for having me on here, first and foremost. But yeah, All-Star weekend was super cool. It was my first one, so I was just going in blind. I didn't know what to expect. I just had a lot of appearances and a lot of interviews and signing autographs and meeting fans. So it was super cool just having that experience, especially with my family. My dad, he played in the league. So just having him there with me, it meant a lot, especially since it was in Cleveland too for my first one. So it was cool just being at home for the first All-Star.
Well, I don't care. I get $10 million for each movie. All right. I get to pay for my new mansion, or I get to upgrade my gym and my house. Okay, so it's really good. Okay, all right. That's why one of my next movies out. What? It's gonna be an action movie or a comedy. All right, with maybe 2 or 3 gags in it that are funny. Okay. Wow, it was incredible. I played the same role that I played in a lot of other movies, and I thought it was an incredible experience. Sorry that I'm with 2-year-old is upstairs asleep. I got wow, that was like What the fuck is going on behind with you? What's happening there? Is it strobe lights? What are you in a fucking nightclub or something? What's going on? I mean, what you need is a DJ that to play the fucking music. What are you laughing at? Leave some nervous. Get so fucking nervous around me.
Tommy, make you laugh.
Get so fucking nervous around me, you motherfucker. Come on. You talking about me losing weight? We put on a COVID stoner too. COVID stone. Hell, you put on that lockdown stone, you feel like pure crap. Amen. Just get yourself out there. Name of my book is Green Lights. Just go past the green light. Just do it. It's an amazing feeling. That's right.
Now, I don't know what I'm doing. I did The Irishman. A lot of people they were hyped. They were excited for that. Now I find myself, I'm doing these comedies, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? The paycheck? I don't know. Sequels go, man, the sequels are never as good as the first movies, man, but I made a shit ton of money, man. Let me tell you, it was an Amazon original. I said, Jeffrey, with your Dr. Evil laugh, give me all the money you got to do this Coming to America too, and you put it on Amazon. It was amazing. Jeff Bezos, thank you for the paycheck. It was incredible, man, and I enjoyed that.
Okay, Mark Wahlberg. What is the next movie you're going to be playing in? I'm a big fan of yours, and I'm really interested in the next movie you're going to put out.
Well, what are you talking about? You know what? I put out about 3 or 4 movies a year. Okay? You got to go to the movie theaters.
I think that's Mark Wahlberg.
The rest of them are all rotten. Okay? So you know what? You want to go to the movies? Go on streaming, okay? Look on Rotten Tomatoes. Gives me a really bad review score. So it's really bad, okay? But I don't care. I get $10 million for each movie, all right? I get to pay for my new mansion, or I get to upgrade my gym and my house. Okay, so it's really good, okay? All right? That's why I want my next movies out. What? It's going to be an action movie or a comedy, all right? With maybe 2 or 3 gags in it that are funny, okay? All right? Last good movie I made was the goddamn Departed, all right? Okay, can you remember that movie? It was a really good movie. The rest of them have been shitty little action movies. All right, okay.
Well, Mark, you don't have to get so mad. I'm a big fan. You're already yelling at me, Mark. I'm a fan.
We loved you in Boogie Nights.
I'm a big fan. You're talking like I haven't been in a movie in about 7 years. I make about 3 a year. That's why I'm so goddamn rich. I'm not like Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't turn down roles because they don't suit me. I take whatever I fucking can. Okay, excuse my language.
You should join the Fast and the Furious, Mark.
Oh, you never know. You look at Vin Diesel, he gets a big paycheck for that. All right? But he better not start shit with me because him and The Rock, they're not friends anymore. Okay? And I like Dwayne a lot. Dwayne's a really good guy. So, Vin, I'm warning you. If you want to get me in the Fast and Furious movies, just be my equal. Okay? All right?
So we're coming at you from the Sriracha Studios here in beautiful Palatine, Illinois. And Tim Kelley's done with business for the day. You can see he's got a nice cold beer in front of him. He's ready to roll.
That's what you need, especially at the end of the day.
He was just looking like he's ready to say something.
Yeah.
He just got all. Look at him. Look at his little face. Look, America. Look at his face.
You don't want to know what's going on up there.
It's like the Three Stooges. Remember the Three Stooges they used to have? They did an X-ray of their head, and there was like a bird flying around in a bird cage.
That'd be Whispers.
Yeah, that's Whispers.
Just a box of crayons.
He's been out in the sun too a little bit. Got that Larry Lobster look on.
Windburn, sunburn. It's all mixed in.
Yeah, look at him. That's Larry the Lobster, America. They got Sam Shepard. That's not Sam. The guy goes, beef. What's for dinner? that guy with the nice mustache.
Yeah.
Like I'm not big on the mustaches, but he's got a nice mustache.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
There you
he
go.
has a great mustache. Got one of the best mustaches in the.
Hey, speaking of stealing identity, everybody's been missing Christopher Walken. Is he back from his Fort Myers trip? Was he staying at you when he's down in Florida?
I always stay with Whispers. He's just accommodating.
Whispers have a nice place down there?
It's nice. He's missing some pieces, though.
I heard that Whispers actually did some damage to the gas tank. He took out his own equipment to cut off a lock.
Yeah, he's a
Isn't
criminal.
that dangerous?
He's a criminal. I mean, he goes outside. They got a Terminator on his gas, and he just grabs the pliers and just takes it off like it's nothing. It's like he's stealing the gas. So, Hoodie, it's great to meet.
And I'm so glad that we share the same opinions about the Bears, the Bulls, and some porn stars that we know in common. I appreciate that.
Wow. Way to mess up a happy home. Wow, Tim. Oh, J Hood is now divorced. He's joining Tom Brady. Thanks, Tim.
Just like
me.
whispers.
Wow. Christopher Walken. Wow. Snitch. Snitching out. Dropping dime on him. Oh, wow.
I love it. That's good. You know what, Tim? I think that's excellent.
Anyhow, visit GimmeTheHotSauce.com. Use King21 to get 20% off your first order, and you'll have it in time for the holidays if you move quickly. If you don't, tough shit.
Hey, it's all up to that hot sauce packer, Tim Kelley, to get that stuff out for the holidays.
I told you last week, I don't even like that guy. He does a terrible job. Last bottles in my house were broken. I think he was playing a joke on me.
Well, I don't do Christopher Walken very well, but I just remember he showed up at a party and he had kittens. So he walked in and he went to a party with a trench coat on, and he walked in and they go, "What do you got?" He goes, "Kittens. I brought kittens." And he brought out 2 kittens at a party that he went to. And I always thought it was just an awesome story. Who brings kittens to a party?
Tim, tell him why.
I always bring kittens with me. You never know when someone needs a little cuddly wuddly.
Oh my goodness! It's only preseason, but I'm hyped. Neil Thought, Jimmy G buckets gets buckets. Oh my goodness! Give me the hot sauce, Neil Thought. Give me the hot sauce. What are you doing, Dragic? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs. Let me step back and kiss myself. MVP time. Windy City Assassin does it again.